that job was something you identified with. And when that's gone, how do you feel? So you have to be able to prepare for that, you know, how you're going to feel with yourself, your dignity.
Hello everyone, I'm Tom Fitzgerald, founder and director of Thomond Asset Management. Today I'm joined with Eileen Woodford, an executive coach and specialist on retirement planning. So today we're going to hear from Eileen on how best to prepare for retirement. So Eileen, you might tell me about retirement preparation and why it is so important.
Hi Tom, thank you for having me today. Retirement is a really important part of a person's life. It's kind of the third phase. Our first phase is learning at school or whatever, and our second is working. So you've gone through your school years and you're learning, whether it be you continue on to college or apprenticeship or whatever, and then we go into our working years. And that takes us up to retirement. Now, when retirement age first came in, 54 was the expected life expectancy, but now of course we can hope to get another 20 up to 30 years. So why not plan for it and get the best out of it we can? Brendan Kennelly, the Kerry poet, said we should be calling retirement re-beginniment as opposed to retirement, because you're not actually leaving something, you're actually beginning something. So it's really to get the best out of the next phase of our life. We've planned for school, our parents did. We planned for our work time. So when we were at school or in third level, we put some thought into what we were going to do in our career. And if we didn't, we were inclined to drift. And if we plan for retirement, the same again, we will have a better stage than if we don't, because we will just drift again, which can lead to depression.
How soon do people need to start preparing for retirement?
They reckon about 5 to 10 years, and you may think, oh my God, it's an awful lot of time. But the thing is, it creeps up on you really quickly. So I would definitely say if you start to think about it, maybe 5 years ahead, because there are a lot of things you need to put in place. But even if you're only 2 years or 1 year out, in my opinion, it's never too late to prepare, to get things in order. And I've even had people come to me who've actually retired and things aren't going so well, because there was a study done in Australia. Now, it's about 20 years ago, but the facts are still borne out with other studies. And it was called the Retire 200 Project. And they took 200 people, a complete break, 100 men, 100 women, and it was also an even break with economic situations. And they looked at people who had retired, and what was it that made a successful retirement? And it was preparation. So the comment that came out quite frequently from people who hadn't prepared was that it was almost as if they felt they'd been thrown on a rubbish heap. They felt discarded. They had lost their purpose, whereas those who had put in some planning for their retirement years were much happier, healthier, and actually lived longer. So it is very important you start planning, but as I said, it's never too late. If you are retired and you're feeling you need some help, absolutely reach out to somebody and get some help, you know. But if you can do it a couple of years ahead, it is better.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, because they've been working in either a factory or in an office or running a company, they're slow to ask for help.
Yeah.
They think, you know, they're an island.
Yeah.
In America, recently, they've started to bring back retirees back into the workplace, and they found that absenteeism went down, productivity went up, and the employees were much happier.
Yeah.
When the retirees came back.
Yeah.
What would you say are the red flags when it comes to transitioning into retirement?
Okay, there are 3 things that I would say are the most important things, and they're the 3 things that would raise their heads. The first is relationships, and that's relationships with yourself and relationships with others. I know I briefly hit on this at the beginning. The relationship with ourselves is called intrapersonal. And it's what I kind of said. If you've been working in a job and suddenly you no longer have that title, you've no longer that office, whether you've been a line manager or an area manager, or you've been working in a retail shop, or you've had your own business, it's irrelevant. But that job was something you identified with. And when that's gone, how do you feel? So you have to be able to prepare for that, how you're going to feel with yourself, your dignity. And the second is relationships with others, and particularly your nearest and dearest. How is your retirement going to affect them? So if you have somebody who has been at home, has already retired, or maybe worked from home, or was at home, worked within the home, and they're used to doing particular things at particular times, at particular days, and suddenly there you are, sitting down, Sky Sports on, and you're stuck where they normally sit to do something. It's okay the odd time, but you are also disrupting their life. So how is your retirement going to affect them? It may be also things they've done on a day. So these are discussions that need to be had with the people with whom you live, people within your family. That's one. The second is your social network. So many people I've seen coming through for retirement, and you ask them, have you friends that you meet for coffee, play golf with, go swimming with, whatever? Yes. But sometimes they're all work-based. Okay, so all the people you meet are within your working environment, your network of working people. And you say to them, will you be able to maintain those relationships going forward? And you can to a point, but you go down the road 6 to 9 months, suddenly you're having coffee or a drink or a lunch with them, and you are starting to not know what they're talking about from work. Their conversations are going on and suddenly you're left out. So generally, relationships then you start to not meet them or make an excuse or just pull away from it. You're on your own. So you need to look at who is in your social structure, okay? And make the efforts to meet. And the third time is structure, or the third point. You need to have structure in your day. When you're working, you have structure within your day. You get up in the morning at a particular time, go to bed at a particular time, etc., etc. It seems lovely to think, great, I finished work, I'll get up when I want, I'll have lunch when I want, I won't go out at all today if I don't. But I've seen it with people that suddenly they're getting up later, or else they're not bothering to shower as early, and suddenly a few people have fallen into a state of depression. So take a few weeks, even a couple of months, but no longer than maybe 8 weeks, and set a structure. Have your structure back. Get up at a particular time. Make sure you're showered, you've breakfast, you do whatever, but keep a structure to your day. The first few months are known as the honeymoon period. And afterwards, if you haven't structure, if you haven't got activities within your life, and those things can be, as I said, volunteering, learning, working, whatever, you will feel that you actually have nothing to do, that you have no purpose,
Yeah, and it's easy to see how that can happen. Because as you said, structure, you get up in the morning, you clock in, you go to work, you have your friends there, you clock out, and you go home, and then you have your family. But as you said, suddenly you're clocking in no more, and you've done it between school and work for basically nearly all of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people I've spoken to who are coming up to retirement age now have told me they're going to take up an instrument. Some have taken up dancing classes.
Yeah.
And they seem to really, really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And as you said, it's concentrated. It's, let's say, for an hour or two on a particular week or a particular day, and that's it. And then they're back to their ordinary lives.
Absolutely. There's two things there. It's I forgot to say earlier on that. When it comes to planning for retirement as well. Say you decide you want to take up dancing, or you want to start art, or you're going to go swimming one day a week or 3 days a week, whatever. You're actually better to start some of these activities before. Because you may start art classes and decide, gee, I hate this, or I have no talent at all. Well, talent's not the thing, it's if you enjoy it. But you actually may not like it, and then what do I do now? Okay, so if you can try some of these things, it's great beforehand. The other very important thing I did forget to say is, the busier the life you've had during your working years, as in stimulating, were you on the go? Remember, when you retire, you're going to go from 100% to 0%. So the more stimulating and demanding a job you had, the more stimulating activities you will need within your retirement life. So you're aiming for about 10 to 15 hours a week of doing something that gives you purpose. And again, that can be whatever it is for you. It doesn't have to be paid work. It can be giving back. It can be learning a new hobby, whatever it is. But you need about 10 to 15 hours a week.
Okay, look, again, thank you, Eileen. It's very, very interesting. This hopefully is only the first of many of these type of discussions. And it was very insightful. I think people who watch this should give them, it should make them think about what they should be doing prior to retirement.
Yeah.
Don't wait. Now, I'm probably very guilty of that myself, because I don't like to be sitting around. I like to be busy and doing things. So it'll be, I might talk to you off the camera later.
Yeah, so you need something just to replace, not all of it, just some of it.
Thank you for listening to Financial Foundations with Thomond Asset Management. Please like and follow.